Welcome, and thank you for coming for this voluntary testing. What our goal is, we are trying to find some of the most common triggers for ASMR among the general population. ASMR, as you may have already known, is the euphoric and tingly sensation that many people experience during auditory or visual stimuli. It can also be something that you experience during something like a massage or other physical contact. So what we would like to do here is to put some electrodes on your head, just in your temple areas right here, and measure your brain waves as we create those stimuli around you, with your permission, of course, and just find out what the general public, the test subjects here in particular, experience, negative or positive, towards those stimulations. Is that okay with you? Okay. A couple of questions first. Do you have any allergies that we should be aware of? Okay. There's not going to be any chemical contact to your skin with the exception of some basic rubbing alcohol to make sure that the placement of the electrodes is making good connection or contact with your skin, but otherwise that'll be it. Okay. In your history, can you think of any time that you experienced ASMR or what your most prominent memory is? Mm-hmm. Would you consider yourself to be more of a visual or audio person? Okay. We're going to be testing for both, so there will be a little bit of physical contact. Is that okay? Okay. First and foremost, we want to make sure that you're in good health. So I'm just going to check your heart and your breathing. Just breathe normally for me. Okay. And now I'd like you to inhale deeply. Okay. And again. That's good. Please hold out your wrist so I can take your pulse. Thank you. Can you have a good resting pulse? Are you relaxed? Fairly? Good, good. Just going to check your pupil dilation real quick. Just look straight forward, okay? Does this strain at all? Or is this uncomfortable stimulation? Okay. One of the things that we want to benchmark is also your perception of touch. So I'm going to place my fingertips on various parts of your face. In most cases, I'm just going to very lightly touch, and I want you to tell me when you feel that sensation. Other times, I'm going to be imprinting a little bit more. And I want you to tell me whether or not it's a soft touch or if it's a hard touch. Okay? These won't hurt. It's just going to be applying a little bit more pressure in certain areas, and others are going to be very, very soft, almost like a very gliding touch. Okay? And if any of these areas cause you pain or discomfort, I want you to please tell me, okay? The main purpose of these tests are to find out where or what works for relaxation. So any kind of distress we want to avoid. Any tenderness in those areas? Okay. How we're going to monitor this is by attaching some electrode monitor devices to your temples, and we'll be able to see what your brain activity is while we're using different types of stimulation. It won't hurt. There's no electrical sensation that you'll be able to detect. Is that okay? So to attach these electrodes, I'm going to brush the hair back a little bit from your temple here. And use some rubbing alcohol just to disinfect the area. So our first electrode. They're sticky, but they peel off very easily. Just to make sure the placement is very effective. Okay. And now for the other side. Just comb your hair back a little bit. For a second one. Do those feel okay? Make sure they're making good contact. Connecting them to our computer. I'm just going to plug it in here. And you won't feel any additional sensation. I'm just going to plug in the wires. Okay. It looks like we're all set. So we're going to start monitoring your reception from here on out. And the first test is going to be one of a physical sensation. We often experience ASMR when someone is rubbing our neck or our shoulders. And we're going to simulate that with this scarf. I'm going to wrap this around the back of your neck. And I just want your head to fall back and relax as it cradles your neck. I'm going to move you from side to side, and I just want you to relax as much as possible, okay? It's even okay if you fall asleep during any of this testing. We're testing for subconscious as well as conscious reactions. So your sense of hearing and touch will still be measured if you fall asleep. Is that good? Alright. I'm just going to wrap this around. Keep you a little extra warm. Would you say that that was a relaxing experience? Not too bad. Okay. We're going to start with some very precise pressure on areas of your face. And we're going to be using a Q-tip first. This is a great way to make sure you can distinguish precise pressure, both gentle and firm, by using a cotton swab. So I'm first going to go ahead and start. Do you feel that? How about right there? Alright. I'm just going to glide this along your skin, okay? Do you experience ticklish feelings? Did you experience any tingly sensations with that? I'm going to move on to a slightly different texture. And this is a polyester brush, but it's very, very soft, and it has a very thin edge. And this is going to have a slightly different reaction on the skin. And we want to measure your perception of it, okay? And again, if any of this is unpleasant, whether or not it's a reaction or if you want to stop, you can always just tell us, okay? On your cheekbone. The next brush has a bit more surface area. It's also a polyester brush, but this will have a much different feel to the skin. A lot less precision, okay? Maybe even run it over your ears. Broad brush, slightly different texture. next texture is going to be entirely different. And this is just a sponge, but its surface almost feels a little cool. And instead of swiping this, I'm going to just very lightly press. Okay. I'm going to move down to your clavicle area. And that concludes our topical sensory test. Now we're going to move on to a couple of auditory tests. Going to be latex. Since this is the audio portion, you're more than welcome to close your eyes and just relax. You can even fall asleep if you're comfortable enough.